Shocking clocks. It often begins with a small, quiet rebellion. A clock on a kitchen wall suddenly stops. It holds its breath for a moment, then just as suddenly it starts again, ticking as if nothing ever happened. A familiar wristwatch, worn for years, mysteriously displays a date from the distant future, a detail you cannot explain away. You might see the same sequence of numbers, 1111 or 333, on every digital display you glance at for a day. These small, strange details can be the start of a very long story. They are tiny cracks in the smooth surface of our days, making us pause and ask a profound question. Did time just bend? A quiet start. This is a story about time itself. It is a journey through tales that people have whispered, shared, and sometimes shouted from the rooftops. Some will tell you these stories are absolute truth, moments when the fabric of reality tore open. Others will calmly explain them away as elaborate tricks or simple mistakes. I will not tell you what to believe. Instead, I will share a few of these accounts, these reported slips in time. We will look at them gently, not with judgment, but with curiosity. These are stories of ordinary people who found themselves in extraordinary moments, feeling utterly and completely lost in the river of time. These tales are easy to read. They are short and simple. They do not require a degree in physics or a belief in the supernatural. The soldier who vanished. In the chaos that followed the First World War, many strange stories emerged from the smoke and mud of the trenches. One such tale, passed down through a family in the English countryside, speaks of a soldier who returned home profoundly changed. He was a young man when he left, barely 25 years old, but the man who walked up the lane to his family's cottage looked closer to 40. His face was etched with lines that were not from battle stress alone. His eyes held a weariness that seemed to span decades. His family, overjoyed at his return, was also deeply puzzled. His papers were in order, listing his name, rank, and the date he was discharged. He carried a small, tarnished pocket watch. He claimed to have found it on an abandoned farm in France. The truly strange part, the date engraved on its inner casing, a year far in the future. He could not explain how it got there. He only had fragmented memories of walking into a place filled with an impossibly bright, silent light. He spoke of things that made no sense to his family or his village. Horseless carriages moving without a sound. Pictures that moved and talked from a box in the wall. Names of streets in a city that did not yet exist. Hummed tunes. Songs, he said, were popular in a time to come. His family loved him, but treated him with gentle caution. They whispered among themselves. Some said the horrors of war had broken his mind. Shell shock. Others wondered quietly if something else had occurred. Did he stumble through a fold in time? Did he step out of his own timeline, even for a moment? The Internet Traveler, John Titor. Long before social media dominated our lives, in the early days of online forums and chat rooms, a mysterious figure appeared. In the years 2000 and 2001, a man calling himself John Titor began posting messages. He made a bold and startling claim. He was an American soldier from the year 2036. He said he was on a mission, sent back to the year 1975 to retrieve an early IBM computer. He was merely stopping in our time, he explained, to visit family and collect some personal items lost in a future civil war. His tone was calm, matter-of-fact, and strangely convincing. He did not just make claims, he offered details. He spoke at length about the future he came from, a world recovering from a brief but devastating World War III. He shared diagrams and descriptions of his time machine. It was not a sleek, shining pod, but a unit installed in a 1967 Chevrolet Corvette. He explained it created two micro-singularities, manipulating gravity to move through time. His posts created an internet sensation. Thousands followed, debating his predictions. After months of activity, on March 24, 2001, he posted his final message. He said he was returning to his own time. And then he was gone. The Two Women and the Old Garden. On a hot summer afternoon, on August 10th, 1901, two English academics decided to visit the Palace of Versailles. Their names were Charlotte Ann Moberly, Eleanor Jourdain. They were educated, respectable women, heads of a college at Oxford. They took a wrong turn and soon found themselves walking down a path that felt strangely still and deserted. The air grew heavy. They saw people dressed in old-fashioned 18th century clothing, a woman sketching on the grass. Two men in green uniforms directed them. They came across a rustic cottage, a woman in the doorway, a girl in the doorway. The whole experience had a strange, flat light, like a tapestry. Eventually they found their way back to the main garden, and the strange feeling lifted as suddenly as it had arrived. They were shaken. Back in England, they researched Versailles' history. They wrote a book about their journey and adventure, published under pseudonyms. The book caused a sensation. Many were fascinated, others skeptical. They believed they had witnessed the gardens in 1789, and that the sketching woman was Marie Antoinette. In the grand theater of time travel stories, the most powerful actors are often the smallest objects. A wristwatch that inexplicably gains 3 hours while its owner takes a short nap. A grandfather clock in a hallway that chimes 13 times at midnight, just once. A car radio that for a fleeting moment plays a song that won't be released for another 10 years. These are the tiny anchors that tether these extraordinary tales to our ordinary world. When faced with such an anomaly, our first instinct is to rationalize. We check our phones, we test the old clock, we search for the strange song online. Often a simple logical explanation presents itself, but sometimes no easy answer can be found. The mystery lingers, and in that space of uncertainty, a story begins to grow. A simple idea from science. Science, in its careful way, offers a key that unlocks a possible door. The idea comes from Albert Einstein. He showed time is not a rigid, universal constant. Time is flexible. It is linked to speed. The faster you move through space, the slower you move through time relative to someone standing still. This is called time dilation. At ordinary speeds, it's tiny, but it has been measured. Astronauts on the ISS age a fraction of a second slower. Proof time is not absolute. If you could travel near light speed, you might experience a few years and return to find centuries have passed. We don't have the technology to do it yet, but the theory is sound, a cornerstone of modern physics. This idea gives us a new lens for older, stranger tales. For centuries, travelers told bizarre stories. Strange, dense fogs appearing from nowhere, disorienting crews. A ship entering a bank of green mist, hours later, found hundreds of miles from its expected position. Its chronometers all show different times. Pilots report strange pacing lights, then instruments go haywire. Clocks spin wildly. These are the legends of the Bermuda Triangle and other mystery spots around the globe. More than that, they are about the people who experienced them. We will feel their confusion. We will see their wonder. We will touch upon their hope and their fear. Each story is a small window into a very large mystery. The human voice. Strip away the strange clocks, the mysterious fogs, the complex theories, and you find the human voice. These are not tales about physics. They are tales about people, filled with love and loss, chance and choice. Think of the soldier who came home. It's not just about a strange watch or a vision of the future. It's about a young man who missed his home. Think of the two women at Versailles. A gentle sadness, a lost afternoon, a queen they believed they saw. Even John Teeter wrote of missing his family in the future he left behind. The power of these stories is how they make us feel. Who hasn't yearned to go back, wished for one more conversation, dreamed of undoing a single foolish mistake? The cost of time travel. Traveling through time is never simple, and it is certainly never free. There is always a cost. Sometimes costing a life, sometimes a person's sanity, sometimes their place in the world. Many tales warn, changing the past, even a little, can have enormous consequences. The butterfly effect. A small fact, a single choice, unknowingly changes the destiny of a family or a town. Even telling the story can plant ideas and fears that steer us down a different path. If you could go back, should you? The moral and ethical dilemmas are immense. Changing the past might erase people, perhaps even yourself. The desire to fix regret could unravel reality. The hidden darkness in the dream of time travel. Now let us end where we began, with a simple, quiet observation. Picture a small clock on a wall. It ticks with a steady rhythm. Then, for no reason, it stops. One long, silent second. And then it starts again. That single, skipped beat can be more than a mechanical flaw. In that silence, a door seems to open in the mind. It can be a step into a memory, or a shiver that makes you think of the future. Time travel stories do not live only in laboratories. They live in small, everyday moments. A skipping clock, a song on the radio, a stranger's familiar face. Stories, whether true or false, shape our world and our place within it. We have no definitive proof, no machine in a garage, but we have stories, misbehaving clocks, and our intricate memory. They make us dream and wonder. Is time a straight, unbending road, or a great quiet house, a long hall with many doors, each leading to a different moment, just waiting to be opened?